There are endless possibilities for how blockchain can completely change the internet as we know it. This is the promise of Web 3.0, and as a result, there are so many different companies making massive bets on this space to build the next hot Web 3.0 project, and they all need developers to make these visions a reality. Blockchain is one of the highest paying skills in tech, but if you want to take advantage of this opportunity and actually transition into this industry, then you need the skills to pay the bills, and having a strong project portfolio is one of the best ways that you can, prove this to other people. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the top portfolio ideas that you can build to land a high-paying Web 3.0 job. So I'm going to talk about this as a blockchain developer who works this technology on a daily basis. And if you're new around here, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to master blockchain step-by-step start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so let's jump into these top portfolio ideas. So I actually want to start with a tip that, whenever you're building a portfolio, one of the most helpful things that you can do is try to recreate, something that already exists out there. Because when you're first starting out, you don't have to reinvent the wheel on everything, and being able to basically mimic what somebody else has done is a really good start, okay, as long as you end up writing the code to make it a reality. So some of the ideas I'm going to talk about are examples of that. Basically, coding something yourself that is a version of something that exists in the real world. So idea number one is an NFT Marketplace. So a real world example of this is like OpenSea. And OpenSea has gotten so successful over the past, year or so that lots of other NFT marketplaces are coming onto the scene to try to capture some of that market share. And this is going to give you lots of different ideas for what you can do as a developer to create your own NFT marketplace. And hey, if you want to turn this into a real project, then you can definitely go for that as well. But let's talk about what you would need to have in your portfolio to make it viable to put it there. So basically, the core functionality here is just, a set of smart contracts where people can submit their NFTs for auction. And then, that's a seller. And then a buyer can get on there and either place bids or buy the NFTs directly. And of course, on top of that, you can also browse collections, maybe look at some statistics based on their, price history, what the floor price is, average price, trends over time. There's lots of different ideas that you can do to add this as far as bells and whistles go, but the core functionality is for people to be able to list their NFTs, buyers to be able to look at them, and then either click a bid button or, actually just purchase it directly. All right, so the next Web 3.0 project idea that you can build for your portfolio is a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. All right, so the whole idea here is something where, people can take cryptocurrency and swap it for a different cryptocurrency. And there's lots of different ways to do this. So some examples of real world projects are like, Uniswap. So this is one of the most popular decentralized exchanges out there. A lot of other DEXs use this as the foundation for their own design. Okay. So basically, Uniswap lets you input a token and then basically tell it what token that you want to receive. Basically, you tell it the cryptocurrency you have and the cryptocurrency you want to get, and you click swap and it just does the transaction. So I actually show you how to build a really simple version of this inside this, Learn Blockchain 3-hour course video. We create a token swap that works kind of like Uniswap, but it's a light version. So if you're going to build, this out more advanced for your portfolio, you would probably want to copy Uniswap's design that has a liquidity pool in the back end, because that's ultimately where cryptocurrencies are parked that facilitate this swap, okay? So that's one design. The other design is what we show you how to do inside the Blockchain Bootcamp, which is where you actually create a cryptocurrency exchange that's more advanced than this, that actually has like an order book and a candlestick chart. That's more like a traditional type of cryptocurrency exchange, okay? So, you can see one that looks more like this, where you can see price history over time. You can actually have an order book. You can say, I have this, I want to sell it for this price. And then, that order can get filled whenever the price moves and actually hits that. So it doesn't ultimately matter which one you decide to do, whether it's the Uniswap style exchange, that's just like a swap, or a traditional exchange where you actually have limit orders. The platform just has to let people, trade cryptocurrency, where they basically have one cryptocurrency token and they can receive another one. And the cool thing about this, there's so many possibilities to support multiple cryptocurrencies on a blockchain like Ethereum, for example, or any other EVM compatible chain, is that they have smart contracts that enable tokens on top of it. So you can have all these other cryptocurrencies that make it really easy to, create a working product where you can swap all these different exchanges in one place. All right, so the next portfolio idea that you can build is a cryptocurrency trading bot, okay, and specifically a blockchain-based trading bot. So one of the best ways to do this is actually create an arbitrage bot that swaps cryptocurrency between two different exchanges whenever the prices go out of sync. So let's say cryptocurrency sells for $100 on one exchange, sells for $101 on a different exchange. You buy it on one and sell on the other, and you make a profit. Okay, so the cool thing about this opportunity is that you can use smart contracts to facilitate this. So you can't, the price can't move on you whenever the trade is executed. And then also you could take out flash loans so you don't have to use any of your own money down in order to perform these trades, okay? That's a great thing to add to your portfolio because it shows that you fundamentally understand how cryptocurrencies work, how exchanges work, and then how to build back-end applications that ultimately make that bot that watches the blockchain for these price differences work, okay? So the other cool thing about this is that the portfolio piece actually has some upside potential. So in the case of building a cryptocurrency exchange or an NFT marketplace, you have to build an app that gets users out there. But this is a bot that you could potentially run if you learn how to do it, to make some money. Now, that being said, the crypto trading bot space is pretty competitive. And as a portfolio idea, this has pretty limited downside because at the end of the day, if you don't get the outcome that you're hoping for in the bot space, you still have something of value that shows somebody else that you are a competent coder and can provide value to their team. All right, so the next portfolio idea that you can build that could have some real world upside profit potential would be your own NFT project. All right, and actually dropping it like a real NFT drop on the blockchain. Okay, so I'll just show you an example of this. We've seen this type of format with lots of other NFTs, over the past year or so. So I'm just going to pull up, NFT calendar site that just lists all the future drops and literally just pull up a random one. Okay. So this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I haven't done any kind of due diligence in this project. I'm not promoting it, but this is the idea. Basically, you create a website that just talks about the new project, says, launch it, and then you can, mint an NFT. You tell it how many you want to mint, connect your MetaMask. They pay to mint the NFT, and then they get one NFT from this limited collection. Maybe it's, 10,000 unique NFT. It's actually generative. So whenever you click the mint button, it creates a new NFT with some sort of randomized artwork on the blockchain. And so this could have some upside profit potential in addition to, creating something for a portfolio. So it accomplishes multiple purposes. And one of the other cool things about this is, of course, this is not official legal advice for you by any stretch of the imagination, but most people think that some of these NFTs are pretty benign in the eyes of regulators. It's not like you're launching a new cryptocurrency in the blockchain where you could potentially, get into trouble with securities laws. But even if you decide not to go down that road and launch it for real, or maybe you launch it and it's not, it doesn't just instantly print money like you might expect, you can still use this for a portfolio. And I think it's a really great thing because it shows people you understand the format, you know how to create a website, you know how to create an NFT, put a project in the blockchain and launch it for real. All right, so another portfolio idea that you can build is actually a DeFi app, okay? So a decentralized finance application that's powered by smart contracts on the blockchain that facilitates some sort of financial service like savings and lending, for example, that also does liquidity mining, because this is one of the really popular things inside of crypto is you can deposit cryptocurrency into the app with liquidity pools, and then that can generate you passive income in the form of, earning back some of the same cryptocurrency you deposited in small amounts, but then getting this reward bonus on top of it, which is a brand new cryptocurrency that's actually created by the app. That's really common across the DeFi space, and one example of that is with compound finance. That's exactly what it does. You deposit cryptocurrency on one side, take out a loan on the other side, okay, and you can earn, incentives for doing that. And basically, if you deposited, USDC, for example, you could get 2.9% on that, but then you could additionally get, bonus comp tokens on top of that. In addition to the USDC that you're earning. So you could create an app that does something very similar to this. We got examples of that on my YouTube channel, how to create a DeFi yield farming app. And then that's going to actually create a brand new cryptocurrency on top of that. And this is going to show people that you understand how DeFi works, you understand how liquidity mining works, you understand how cryptocurrencies work, smart contracts, website, everything. So it'll be a super strong piece for your portfolio. All right, so the last portfolio idea that I want to talk about is different from the rest, because everything I've talked about at this point, you have pretty good examples of these types of things out in the wild. And a lot of these things I've done tutorials for my YouTube channel or inside the bootcamp. All right. And so you have something to go off of in order to create this. But this last one is something that doesn't really exist yet in terms of a use case that's actually taken off and gotten meaningful adoption. And that's a crypto social network. Okay, so we've done some tutorials about this, but there's no really great examples of, thriving crypto social networks out there at the time of recording this video that are part of Web 3.0. And so this is definitely something that can get you creativity points in your portfolio especially if you create something that is unique. So, what are some properties that you can include to make a Web 3.0 social network or a crypto social network for your portfolio? Well, something that has token incentives built inside of it for good content, or any mechanism inside of the application. One big benefit of Web 3.0 for social networks is going to be censorship resistance. So the whole idea is anytime that you post something on social media, you can prove that it was posted and that it actually appeared inside the application, because that's what a lot of people worry about with social media nowadays, is potentially deplatforming. All right, that's kind of the worst case scenario, is deplatforming or maybe suppressing someone else's posts based on people's viewpoints or what they do or not want to see. Algorithmic curation that just shows people what they personally want to see and hides things they don't want to see. But last but not least, also, the trends that happen inside of social networks. Anytime you see a trending, topic on the sidebar of your social network, how do you really know that is what's trending and that it's not, manipulated in some form or fashion? Or how do you know something's not trending that should be there? So these are ways that you could, add this transparency, this censorship resistance, maybe some token incentives into a crypto social network for a portfolio that I think can, give you some creativity points. All right, so those are some portfolio ideas that you can use to land a high-paying Web 3.0 job. Now, the last thing I'll say is how to really make this effective, which is, a pro tip, if you will. So first of all, you definitely want to be, unique. So you need the skills. So you want to create something yourself, all right? So if you use a tutorial as inspiration or maybe some other project, you don't want to just copy the code and then put that on your portfolio, because it's not going to help you learn. And then there's a high likelihood somebody else is going to think you're just plagiarizing. So what can you do in the very least? Well, you can take something that exists and then add new features on it. All right, that's the bare minimum that you can do, because that's going to add some value and prove that you can do something. All right. You could reskin something additionally, all right, to put a new user interface on it that shows that you also have that. Or the best thing to do probably is just if you're copying something else, is just to build it from the ground up and copy what it does without, looking at the code while you're doing it. You might end up with very similar code at the end of that process, but at least you're, getting that skill and creating something unique. Okay. So once you've got that in place, though, you definitely want to have a website for your portfolio where you put out your project. And the best thing is for somebody to be able to click through on your website and actually use a live deployed project. So once you've created a portfolio piece, you want to put the smart contracts on the blockchain. It's okay. It can be a test network. You don't have to pay any real money. You want to deploy a website. In many cases, you can do this for free as well, to where someone can click through it, look at your website, actually use your Dapp in some way. And then finally, you want to open source the code on GitHub and put a link to that in your portfolio website as well, so they can see the code that you wrote. And that's going to really help your credibility out a lot. All right, so those are some of my top portfolio ideas that you can build to land a high-paying Web 3.0 job. Hope you like this list. As always, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Smash the like button down below. That really helps these videos out so that more people can learn about blockchain. And if you're as fast in this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? Well, you go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step-by-step, start to finish, over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.